So I want you to open your mind to a big idea. And the big idea is this: everybody deserves a strong, healthy, supportive family. Now, that sounds basic, but I want you to stop and think about it. Think about the word everybody. And if you're oppositional, if you like to argue, say, certainly there's somebody who doesn't deserve a strong, healthy, supportive family. You may know that person. But we're going to try to open that up and go, no, really, think about it. I mean, people who have done bad things, people who have made mistakes, people who don't come from good families, I don't think there's an exception to that. And so the foundation we want to lay is that everybody deserves a strong, healthy, supportive family. Now, if that's true, then the second statement is also true. I deserve a strong, healthy, supportive family. That one may take a little while to open up some space in your brain for that one. But I want you to do it. I want you to let that thought in. Now, you probably have some negative thoughts associated with that. It's like, well, you don't know me. You don't know where I've been. You don't know what I've done. You don't know what I've said. You don't know who I've hurt. You don't know where the mistakes I've made. You don't know. I don't think I deserve a strong, healthy, supportive family. Or, yeah, you don't know my family. You don't know the family I came from. You don't know the family that I have. You don't know what I've done, the things that have happened in my family. Nah, I think if I ever deserved a strong, healthy, supportive family, maybe I don't anymore. I want you to let those negative thoughts go and embrace the idea, no, it's okay if I have a strong, healthy, supportive family. Okay? I want you to say it with me. This is the participation part. Plus, I have to keep you active, otherwise you're only going to fall asleep in this heat. Okay, so say it with me. I deserve a strong, healthy, supportive family. Let's start with the basics. Well, what do you mean by that? Words have a range of meanings. What I mean by family may not be what you mean by family. If I ask you to picture your family, who are the people that you're going to picture? I'm going to start off with a very simple definition. Definition, what do I mean when I say family? A family is a network of relationships. Okay? One of the questions you'd be, is FOA actually a family? Has that happened? And if so, see, I see heads nodding, and it's like, you bet it is. Yeah, we're gonna unpack that a little bit. Is that possible, and how does that happen? Okay, there's a difference between family and relatives. Not all relatives are family. Even in my family, we keep finding relatives. Does that happen to anybody else? You know, you thought you knew who the family was, and then you get a phone call or an email or a Facebook and say, hey, by the way, we might be related. Is your dad so-and-so? You probably have relatives that you've never met. You probably have relatives that you haven't talked to in a long time. So they're relatives, you're related, but they're not really functioning as family. Okay, the traditional definition of family is related by blood or law. You know, if a place has a family visitation policy, well, are you family? It's like, well, what do you mean by that? And sometimes they'll let in people that are not real helpful, and they'll keep out people that would be helpful because of how they define family. So when you define it as a network of relationships, and you understand that you can also have family who are not relatives. When you start with family, you're dealt a hand. Okay, there's the family that you get. But there has always been an element of choice in family. Let's take, for instance, marriage. At a wedding, what you're doing, you choose a person and you go, I want you in my family. And at the end of the ceremony, they have family status. You can have adoption. Okay, there's somebody and you go, you know what, we're not blood related, but for this reason, I want you to have family status. You go through the ceremony. My granddaughter, when she was adopted by her stepdad, loved the ceremony. The judge absolutely did it right. And now, guess what? They're legally family. Even in church, there's an element of choice. right? If you go to church, old school, anybody back with brother so-and-so, sister so-and-so, and it's like, that's the family. And it's like, well, shouldn't family be like mom, dad, and the kids? Well, even Jesus, when he was asked the question, there's a story in the Bible, and his mother and brothers came to get him because they thought he had lost it, because he was claiming to be God and stuff. And they said, yeah, we need to go get Jesus and bring him home. So they came to get him. And his followers said, your mother and brother are here to see you. And what did Jesus say? Who are my mother and brothers? The people that support me, the people that follow me, the people that get me. Those are my mother and brothers and sisters. So in family, there is an element of choice, and family status is something that can be given. When you decide that you are going to give somebody family status, you're looking at somebody you may be related to, maybe somebody that's come into your life and meets the qualification, you go, you know what, dude? It's family. You grant them that status, but the expectation is that it can't be revoked. You don't play with those words. You give somebody a hug and go, man, you're the only family I got. That's some heavy stuff. Even in who are my Fast and Furious contest? Who has seen more than one? Who has seen every single okay. Yeah, exactly. They're family. There's a video you can watch all 33 times in the series that they say we are family. It's like, hey, that person just betrayed you. Yeah, but it's family. We're going to go rescue that person. Why? It's family. We're going to support them. Why? It's family. And I think they're right. So if there's an element of choice and recognition, family might be blood relatives, it might not be. It may be friends, it may be supporters, it may be coworkers. How do you know who is in your family? There are 5 essential traits that you look for in a family. These are the functions of family. When you have these things, this is what makes it feel like family. A sense of belonging. Families produce a sense of belonging. If you are one of the people who feel like, I don't know where I belong. I've never felt like I belonged anywhere. That's related to family. Okay? On the other hand, if you're a person where it's like, oh my goodness, this feels like home. That feeling of this feels like home is about this is where I belong. This is where I'm meant to be. Again, I work inpatient. I work in an adolescent unit. And sometimes we will get kids in on the unit, and it's the first time they've ever felt like, why does this feel like home? Because we provide these things for you. And you go, wow, I feel more comfortable here than I've ever felt. Yeah. So there's the sense of belonging. Number 2, families offer unconditional acceptance. Now let me clarify that. In order to have a strong, healthy, supportive family, you have to know the difference between supporting a person or accepting a person and accepting their behavior. Those are 2 different things. Because you can accept the person and go, look, I love you, you're family, but that's not okay. And we talk a lot in this group about boundaries. Okay, that behavior is not acceptable. I love you, it does not threaten the relationship because it's family. Family is a strong relationship. But I cannot accept that. I accept you. But I can't accept that behavior. That was over the line. That was unacceptable. So make the difference. Accept the person doesn't necessarily mean you accept all the behavior. Support. Families consist of supportive relationships. Again, you separate between supporting the person, but that doesn't necessarily mean you support every decision. If you're involved in family connections, you know sometimes family members make really bad decisions. And you're going to go, okay, I wouldn't do that. Why don't you support me? I do support you. Support means I want you to win. Support means I want you to succeed. Support means I want you to be happy. And I don't think that decision is going to do any of those things. So I'm absolutely supporting you, but I can't support that decision. The phrase that I learned here, we will help you live, but we will not help you die. If you're going down the road to self-destruction, we cannot support you on that road. But at the point where you want to live, and the other one that I love is we'll love you until you can love yourself. Both of those I learned them here at FOA. So that's what it means to have a supportive relationship. Sharing. Families are developed by sharing good and bad experiences. That means you've been through some stuff. Okay? It could be the family trip to Kings Island where everybody had a good time, or that one time you went camping, or it could be, wow, we got through that, and we got through it together. It is those shared experiences that become the glue, that become the strength that makes the relationship strong. The last one, time. Families take time to develop. There's a movie just released in 2018 called Instant Family. I don't know if anybody's seen it yet. It's about a couple that adopts 3 siblings. The title's ironic. Okay? You don't get instant family. Even if you put all the pieces together, young couple gets married, they're starting the process of building a family. Child comes along, they're starting the process of building a family. If you want to build a strong, healthy, supportive family, it is going to take time. If that family is not strong, healthy, and supportive, if it is weak and diseased and destructive, repairing that is going to take time. Why do families exist? There are 3 essential functions of family. The first one, safety and survival. We need different kinds of help at different life stages. Think about it. Think about your current life stage. We have young adults, we have middle adults, we have older adults, we have some children. I think I saw a toddler or 2 someplace. All of us need family differently at different life stages. That's the magic of family. If you just have like one generation and everybody's the same age, that's a support group. It's a peer group. But family has that added dimension of different life stages. So when I mention a life stage, okay, let's say that you have a mom who comes into the hospital and she's pregnant. And somebody says of her, do you have any family? And she says, no, I don't have any family. You feel that? Okay. Child shows up at school. Basic needs aren't getting met. What's going on? Well, he doesn't have any family. You feel that? Somebody gets to middle age. Kids have moved on. Things have not gone well. They don't have a family. End of life. My daughter manages a senior retirement center. It makes a difference having family. The ones that are there, well, they don't have any family. That's what family matters. Baby humans take a long time to develop, to mature. Most mammals, a year or 2. You know, they're off, they can fend for themselves, they can eat, they can be independent. Humans, not so much. We are designed to need the support of a family. Life is a team sport. Family is your first team. Now I'm going to throw in the Cleveland Browns joke. You know, you may have felt like your family was like being drafted as a quarterback for the Browns for the last couple years. I'm optimistic about this year, though. This year's looking, they got me to hope again. I don't know how they did that, but I'm hopeful. It might be family. I don't know. So we need that help that is why when I talk with the teenagers and they go, oh yeah, my parents just absolutely freaked out, I said, I'm going to put on my parent hat. You want to know why your parents freaked out? I'm going to tell you why your parents freaked out. Because parents are supposed to be motivated by love, but most of the time they're motivated by fear. Parents right now, yeah, we're just basically holding on and scared to death. Okay? And there's one fear in particular, and we talked about it. What's the one fear every parent has? I don't want to go to my child's funeral. I don't. That is a wound that doesn't heal. Yeah. And stories like yours are why I come, just to hear that and going, it's one day at a time. And having a group to share that with who gets it. And to get the encouragement and the applause. That's the kind of thing that makes this family. So that's number one, this just, hey, we're just trying to keep you alive. That's why we're doing the fentanyl test strips. You know, that's why, how did you cut the fatality rate of addiction in Dayton? Well, we don't let them die. Right? Okay? But what if no, that doesn't matter. Safety and survival, job one. Let's take care of that. Second major function of a family, personal development. Families are critical for discovering who you are. What you believe about yourself was probably formed in your family context. So if you grew up with a strong, healthy, supportive family that thought you were wonderful, that equipped you, that cared about you and loved you and helped you succeed, you probably have that inside of you. If you grew up in a family that didn't give you that stuff, you're a loser, you're a mistake, you're worthless, you ruined our lives. All those messages that you got early, those are now part of your thinking and part of your identity. Part of the function of family is to let us know who we are and to let us have a healthy self-image. Are we good at everything? No. Are we bad at everything? No. We have strengths, we have weaknesses, we have meaning, we have purpose, we have direction. Those are the things that a family context is supposed to provide for you. That sense of self. I know who I am, and I'm okay with it. Then the last major function of family, social development. Families help us learn how to behave around others. In the mountains a little bit, or I don't know if this was mountains, but I heard it. If they say about something, yeah, well, he ain't got no upbringing. Yeah, he don't know any better. Yeah, that's a family thing. Where are you supposed to learn how to share? Where are you supposed to learn how to respond to the words no and boundaries and authority and responsibility and all of those things that we need just to get along with each other? That's a primary function of family. So if the family you grew up in was lacking with that, it's not surprising. It's like you get with a group of people who go, I have no idea who I am and I have no idea how to behave here. Those are things that family is supposed to provide. When we use the word family, there are actually 3 different stages of family development. And you have to think of these families as different stages. The first one, birth family determines your genetics. Take a look in the mirror. That's what you got. Okay? So when we talk about family, one of the families we talk about is birth family, and guess what? You had no choice. You got to play the cards you're dealt with that one. I don't know, I wish I was this or I wish I was that. When there's a family member absent, like for instance, the biological birth father shows up to, cause the birth to take place and then is gone, that leaves a lot of questions. That leaves a lot of emptiness. And it's like, yeah, I may look like my dad. I don't know. Didn't know him. Well, where do you get that trait from? Might be genetic, might be environment, I don't know. Whereas when you grow up in family and you have that frightening realization, it's like, yeah, I'm becoming my parents. You know exactly where all that stuff came from. That's birth family, determines your genetics. You have no choice in that one. Now, as soon as you're born, then you move into your growth family. This is the family that you grew up with. This determines how you develop. Has anyone seen the movie 3 Identical Strangers? Yes. Oh, you've watched that? Fascinating. But they get into this genetics versus environment thing. Which was it? And I don't want to spoiler alert for it, but in this, their physical appearance, genetics. It was obvious they were related. Who they were as people, very different because they were raised by different growth families. And that whole movie is an exploration of how their genetics made them similar, but how their growth families made them different. So growth family, basically up until you're 18 or whenever it is that you leave and strike out on your own and achieve independence, that's kind of the end of growth family. And then you enter life family. Life family is where you're at now. Life family is the people who support you through life, the people that you turn to and the people that are there for you. And in this one, you have quite a bit of choice. So let's get to the how-to part of it. How do I build a strong, healthy, supportive family? That's what we want to find out. I got to give you a disclaimer. This series is not about how to change other people. Sorry about that. It's like, can't you give me the formula? Because I want to change my wife or my husband or my kids or my mom. Can't I just get the other people to change and be what I need them to be? No. One of the rules is people can change. Can I get an amen? I'm going to go into preacher mode. Amen, people can change? Yeah, that's what you're about, but you can't change people. So if a major part of your life is what do I have to do to get this person to change, we don't have a formula for that. There's the 3 C's. If you're in a recovery support role, do you know what they are? I have them written down because I keep forgetting one of them. I didn't cause it, I can't control it, and I can't cure it. Those are your realities. So this is not about how can I get the people around me to be more strong, healthy, and supportive. Well, if that's not going to work, then what are we going to do? In order to build a strong, healthy, supportive family, you need at least one strong, healthy, supportive person, and that person is you. Exactly. If you didn't hear it, there was this like, yeah, bummer. I was hoping for something better than that. Here's the thing. Nobody likes to find out that they're the problem. But here's the contradiction in that. If you're not the problem, you're not the solution. If you're not the problem, you're powerless. You got to deal with it. You got to accept it. But if you are the problem, then you're the solution. And now you do have power. And now you can change things and make them better. First step in building a strong, healthy, supportive family is to become a strong, healthy, supportive person. Are you willing to accept that goal? Wait, so building a strong, healthy, supportive family means I have to work on being a strong, healthy, supportive person? Yes. Wherever that bummer came from, that was like absolutely, absolutely perfect. But open your mind to it. Because how many stories did we hear of people that are getting stronger? How many stories did we hear of people that are getting healthier? How many of you have given support to somebody else? That's what all that talking is in the back. You ever hear that? Like when we're getting started? That's all people supporting each other. So there are strong, healthy, supportive people here. And you want to be one. That's why you're here. So I put this abbreviation, this SHSP, strong, healthy, supportive person. Can you raise your hand and go, okay, I'll accept that. I can do that. I can be that for somebody else. All right? Now, once you do that, the second step, build relationships with other strong, healthy, supportive people. That's also why you're here, because you know that. And you know, I need to be around some strong, healthy, supportive people. How many of you so far in your recovery have had to let some people go? It's like, yeah, you love them, you care about them, but they are not good for you. They're going to bring out the worst in you. They're going to trip you up, and you got to make a decision. Do I want to be strong, healthy, and supportive? Now, this can be tough, especially if you don't think of yourself as strong, healthy, and supportive. If you're like, no, that's not me. That's the opposite of me. I'm weak. Like I'm an addict. That's my disease. And supportive? No, I need people to take care of me. If you don't think of yourself as strong, healthy, and supportive, you're going to feel uncomfortable around people who are. Right? It's hard. It's like, oh, those people are judging me. Yeah, those people are better than me. Yeah, those people are doing it and I'm failing. Yeah, those people all know that I'm just kind of faking it. They're doing well and I'm holding on. I'm white knuckling it. They don't know what I'm thinking. I don't really belong with these people. Those are negative thoughts that will sabotage your recovery. So once you start going, that strong, healthy, supportive person is me, and I belong with other strong, healthy, supportive people, that's where your strong, healthy, supportive family is going to come from. And then the last thing, it says take turns. Take turns being strong and healthy and supportive, because let's be honest, nobody can do that all the time. Nobody. Everybody needs help. That's everything from the Beatles. Help, I need somebody. It's funny watching them in their 20s going, when I was younger, so much younger than today. And it's like, yeah, they didn't know yet. That's Ed Sheeran. If you know his song, Save Myself, before I save someone else. Anybody know that song? Got to save myself. That's where we start. The ability to ask for help. And you guys are getting it here.